What happens when a seemingly ordinary town becomes the epicenter of a chilling mystery that captivates an entire nation? Today, we're about to find out. Welcome, listeners, to The Real Crime Diary, Daily Dose of Crime. I'm your host, MHB, and we're diving deep into a case that has haunted hearts and minds for over 7 years. The quiet streets of Delphi, Indiana, were forever changed on a cold February day in 2017. 2 young girls went for a hike, never to return home. What followed was the investigation that left detectives baffled, a community in fear, and a nation demanding answers. Now, after years of silence, we finally have a suspect. Richard Allen, a man who lived and worked among the very people he's accused of devastating, is standing trial. But is he really the killer? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Buckle up, crime enthusiasts. We're about to unravel the twists and turns of the Delphi murders case. A tale of tragedy, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of justice. This is The Real Crime Diary, and we're just getting started. On a chilly February day in 2017, the small town of Delphi, Indiana, was about to be thrust into the national spotlight for the most tragic of reasons. 2 young teenagers, 13-year-old Abigail Williams and 14-year-old Liberty German, affectionately known as Libby, set out for what should have been a routine hike on the Monon High Bridge Trail. It was a day off school, and the girls were looking forward to spending time together in nature. But as the afternoon wore on, alarm bells started ringing. The girls failed to show up at their designated pickup point. Worry turned to panic, and soon the entire community was mobilized in a frantic search. The next day, February 14th, brought the devastating news no one wanted to hear. The bodies of Abigail and Libby were discovered near the very trail they had been hiking. The peaceful town of Delphi, home to just 3,000 souls, was shattered. What followed was one of the most extensive manhunts in Indiana's history. A search for answers that would stretch on for more than 5 long years. The case captivated not just the state, but the entire nation, as investigators raced against time to bring the girls' killer to justice. The investigation into the Delphi murders was a long and winding road, filled with tantalizing clues and frustrating dead ends. From the very beginning, law enforcement had their work cut out for them. They released 2 grainy photos of a suspect walking on the abandoned railroad bridge where Abigail and Liberty had been. These images, haunting in their lack of clarity, became etched in the public's mind. But it wasn't just visual evidence that investigators had to work with. They also released an audio recording believed to be the voice of the suspect saying 3 chilling words, "Down the hill." This audio, captured by Liberty on her cell phone, would prove to be a crucial piece of evidence. As the investigation progressed, multiple sketches of the suspected killer were released to the public. Each new image brought a surge of hope, but also confusion. Were they looking for one person or multiple suspects? Years passed, and the case seemed to grow cold. But behind the scenes, investigators were tirelessly pursuing every lead. They even explored potential connections to online profiles used to communicate with young girls. Then, in a breakthrough that shocked the nation, Richard Allen, a local man from Delphi, was arrested in October 2022. After more than 5 years of uncertainty, authorities finally believed they had their man. The community held its breath, hoping that this arrest would finally bring justice for Abigail and Liberty. The moment of truth has finally arrived. After years of waiting, the trial of Richard Allen, the man accused of the Delphi murders, begins today, October 14th. The wheels of justice are turning, starting with jury selection in Fort Wayne, Indiana. This isn't just any trial. It's a case that has captivated the nation and haunted a small town for over 7 years. The courtroom in Delphi, where the tragic events unfolded, will be the stage for this high-stakes legal drama. But don't expect a media circus. The judge has imposed strict restrictions, creating an air of secrecy around the proceedings. No cameras, no cell phones, not even laptops will be allowed in the courtroom. It's as if the justice system itself is holding its breath, ensuring that nothing interferes with the pursuit of truth. Adding to the tension is a gag order, silencing attorneys, law enforcement, and even the victims' families from commenting publicly. This veil of silence only heightens the anticipation as we await each day's revelations. The trial is expected to last 6 weeks. 6 weeks that could finally bring closure to a community and 2 families who have waited far too long for answers. As the evidence unfolds and witnesses take the stand, we'll be here, piecing together the story of what really happened on that fateful day in February 2017. Just when you thought this case couldn't get any more twisted, the defense team drops a bombshell. In a shocking 136-page court filing, Allen's attorneys have proposed an alternate theory that has left many scratching their heads. They claim that Abigail and Liberty were not victims of a random killer, but instead fell prey to a group practicing Odinism, a pagan Norse religion. According to the defense, the murders were actually ritualistic sacrifices carried out by two groups of Odinists, one from Delphi and another from Rushville. They argue that investigators found multiple ritualistic symbols at the crime scene, including the way Liberty's body was positioned. The defense maintains that their client, Richard Allen, had absolutely nothing to do with these murders. They emphatically state that nothing, absolutely nothing, links Richard Allen to Odinism or any religious cult. This controversial theory has been met with skepticism from both the prosecution and the judge. In fact, the judge has denied the defense's request to present this alternate theory to the jury. But Allen's attorneys aren't backing down. They continue to push these claims and have asked the judge to reconsider allowing this evidence at the trial. As we delve deeper into this case, one can't help but wonder, is this a desperate attempt by the defense to create reasonable doubt? Or could there be some truth to these extraordinary claims? At the heart of this chilling case lies a piece of evidence that's both haunting and heroic. Liberty German, in her final moments, managed to capture crucial footage on her cell phone. This act of quick thinking has led many to hail her as a hero, potentially providing the key to solving her own murder. The cell phone footage includes grainy photos of a man walking on an abandoned railroad bridge, as well as a brief audio recording of a male voice saying, "Down the hill." These pieces of evidence have been central to the investigation from the start, offering a glimpse into the terrifying moments the girls faced. But as with many aspects of this case, the evidence is not without controversy. The defense team will likely challenge the clarity and reliability of the footage, while the prosecution will argue its significance. As the trial unfolds, we'll see how this evidence stands up in court. Will it be the smoking gun that seals Richard Allen's fate? Or will the defense find ways to cast doubt on its validity? The coming weeks will reveal just how pivotal Liberty's final act of bravery truly was in the pursuit of justice. The murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German have cast a long shadow over the small town of Delphi, Indiana. For more than 7 years, this tight-knit community of just 3,000 people has lived under the weight of an unsolved crime that shook them to their core. The impact on Delphi has been profound and far-reaching. Parents became more protective, children more wary. The once idyllic trails where Abby and Libby spent their final moments became a symbol of lost innocence and lingering fear. But beyond the immediate trauma, this case has raised serious questions about public safety in small-town America. How could such a heinous crime occur in broad daylight, in a place where everyone knows their neighbors? It's forced communities across the country to re-evaluate their own vulnerabilities and safety measures. The case has also put a spotlight on the complexities of the justice system. The long wait for an arrest and now the commencement of the trial have tested the community's patience and faith in the legal process. As the trial unfolds, Delphi and the nation watch closely, hoping for closure, but also grappling with the knowledge that no verdict can truly heal the wounds left by this tragedy. As we wrap up today's episode, the trial of Richard Allen is just beginning, and with it comes a flurry of unanswered questions. Will the prosecution's evidence be enough to secure a conviction? Can Allen's defense team convince the jury of his innocence? And most importantly, will this trial finally bring closure and justice for Abigail Williams and Liberty German? The coming weeks will undoubtedly be filled with intense courtroom drama, shocking revelations, and emotional testimonies. This case has captivated the nation for over 7 years, and its resolution could have far-reaching implications for how we handle cold cases and protect our communities. As we continue to follow this gripping case, remember that behind the headlines and courtroom tactics are 2 young lives tragically cut short, and families who have been waiting for answers for far too long. We'll be here to bring you the latest updates and analysis as the trial unfolds. If you want to stay informed on this case and other fascinating true crime stories, make sure you're subscribed to The Real Crime Diary, Daily Dose of Crime. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed. Day. Power, Pleasure, and Pain. A study of abuse through time. This book provides a detailed examination of how sexual violence and power dynamics have manifested across different historical periods, from ancient civilizations to the modern era. It explores how figures in positions of power used their influence to manipulate and exploit others, showing that the patterns of abuse we see today have deep historical roots. Many people struggle to grasp why abuse of power, particularly sexual violence, persists in modern society. By connecting historical events with contemporary cases, the book offers crucial insights into why such behaviors remain prevalent. The book analyzes infamous cases such as those of Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, and Dominique Pellicotte, drawing parallels between them and historical figures. This section highlights how the systemic abuse seen in recent times is not a new phenomenon, but part of an ongoing cultural issue. Through the lens of these modern examples, readers will gain a better understanding of how institutions, wealth, and power have historically shielded perpetrators from justice, contributing to their ability to continue harming others. The book explores the philosophy of libertarianism, particularly through the works of Marquis de Sade, to explain the disturbing ways in which pleasure, power, and cruelty have been intertwined. This provides readers with a deeper philosophical context to interpret modern-day scandals. Unlike other studies that focus solely on historical or contemporary cases, this book uniquely blends both, offering a full spectrum of how abuse is tied to power dynamics. It stands out by making philosophical connections that help readers understand the deeper societal issues at play.